Yo,
Yo, what's
what's the
good, bro?
word, bro?
Shoot, chilling, bro. What you on?
Chilling, bro. Just got back to the crib. I was just telling them we just kind of just got on here just to have a conversation real quick with you. I know we kind of both in the financial space as well, like something that we both interested in. So I just want to chop it up with y'all and
Yeah,
talk
for
about
sure.
like a topic about like just the importance of investing as well. So if you go ahead, want to introduce yourself as well, bro.
My name is Elijah Porter. I'm a college student right now, studying business administration. About to graduate real soon, so I'm excited for that. Um, got a couple of businesses I'm working on. I just started a YouTube channel. Got a hat company as well. So I'm basically getting these things off the ground as I graduate and as I go into the real world, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's dope. So we gonna go ahead jump into it. So the topic is like just the importance of investing. So I just want to know
hmm
from you as well, bro. Like, so what was the first like what made you interested in even learning about investing as a whole?
Yeah, bro. So basically, I just said I'm a business administration student, right? So I'm coming into college basically thinking like, oh, I'm gonna learn about this, I'm gonna learn about that, I'm gonna learn about money, I'm gonna learn about credit, I'm gonna learn about all this type of stuff, right? And then once I got to college and understand like what it really was, I'm like, I'm not really learning none of this stuff for real. So I'm like, and then I'm a thinker, bro. So like I don't know. I naturally got I naturally got I see my boy down there. But I naturally
Sir.
got a creative mindset. Like I just be thinking. So I'm like
Thanks.
I'm seeing how everybody is living, right? I'm like, well, we was taught. Okay, we was taught to what we go to school. You know, we go to elementary school, middle school, high school. Then after that, you can go to college, and you. But at the end of the day, you're getting a job, right? That's what we're taught, right? Go to school, get a job, you know, do all these things that we're taught, and then I'm like, nobody's winning from this. I'm like, I'm listening to the same people that don't like their life, right? Because most of these people they just say, oh, this is just life, and I'm a thinker, so I'm like, bro, it has to be another way. It has to. So in the midst of me thinking all of this, I'm like, okay, what do wealthy people do?
Mm,
That's what I'm trying to study. What do the wealthy people do? And then I learned that somehow, some way, instead of working for money, they get their money to work for them.
facts.
So like when it was like a paradigm shift.
That's a fact.
I'm I'm coming in and it I don't know, I don't know, I had a moment where I'm just like, that's really smart. Like why weren't we taught this in school instead of SOHCAHTOA in math class, right? I'm like, okay.
I don't even know what that is, but that
I
just
bro,
got.
I'm not gonna lie, it's like day 2000
I'm,
that I haven't used it. So I'm just like, okay. And then I started doing my research. I'm not gonna lie, YouTube University is the best is one of the best universities.
that's
Honestly,
a
because
fact.
I started doing my research. So I started researching like banks, credit, just financial literacy stuff. And it all came in a good time too, because it just came in a time where all the the prices are rising up, right? So inflation became real relevant, right? Inflation became real relevant. So as I'm looking at it, as I'm studying it, it's becoming more and more relevant because we're living in that time right now as we
That's
speak.
a
So I
fact.
just started doing my research, and then I started to understand what the banks actually do. I started to understand what the banks actually do, right? And when you think about it, it's not smart for the consumer, basically. It's not smart at all. And I'm gonna say this because this right here.
And when you say it's not smart for the consumer, like what you're talking about directly, just leaving money in the bank.
Yeah, yeah, just leaving money in the bank is not smart for the consumer because just look at it like this. Now, it's everybody should have a checking account and everybody should have a emergency fund too, right?
Facts.
It's like some months build up just in case something was to happen. But other excess money is not, I don't think it's smart for the consumer. But they don't tell you this because they always are advertising their savings
Everybody
accounts.
trying to get your money out your pocket, so they ain't gonna tell you that.
Exactly. So, and people, what they don't realize is that this is what the banks do. The banks take your money, and the thing is, most people don't know. Most people just think that their money is on hand.
Facts.
It's just sitting on hand, right? You got $30,000 in a checking account. Oh, you can just go grab that $30,000 whenever. No,
Nah, it's
that's
not
not
true.
how it works,
Not
right?
true.
That's not how it works. It's some called fractional reserve banking that people don't
Mm,
understand, where the banks are only required to keep a certain amount on hand for you, right?
come on.
And guess what they do with the
They,
money that they don't have on hand?
they doing the same thing we should be doing. Investing.
Exactly, exactly. So when I'm doing my research and I'm doing uh, what's up,
Yeah.
what's up? Um, but when I'm doing my research and I'm doing my due diligence on, the banks and what they actually do with our money. Because if somebody was to explain what we do to like a person, just like if you like close your eyes, right? If somebody was to explain what we actually do as humans and what we're taught, we'd be like, bro, that's the stupidest thing ever, bro. Literally. If you close your eyes and I just said, all right, so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to school, you're gonna get a job, and then you're gonna work Monday through Friday for 40 hours, right? You'll work Monday through Friday for 40 hours, and at the end of the week or the next week, you get a paycheck every week or bi-weekly, however your job is. And then what you're gonna do with that paycheck is you're gonna give it to the bank so they can use it and make money off your money while they barely give you a return.
Come on.
So basically, what what we've been taught is just give our money to a bank that uses our money to make money for them, and they don't even give us anything to beat inflation.
That's a fact.
So I'm like, hmm. But like, and this is all coming while I'm in college. I'm literally in class. This all started because I was in class, and I'm like, bro, I'm learning about something that I'm never gonna use. And the thing is,
What real quick, what you in school for right now? You said I
business,
think you said you
yeah,
business?
business
Okay.
administration.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They just keep us dumb because they don't want to know. They don't want us to know stuff. It, I'm gonna just say it like this. It's a reason why if you gave everybody $1 million, that the money will end right back up where it first started. Right? It's all information. That's all it is. Whoever has the right information is going to win. And
Also
the
you gotta think
information,
Also, you
yeah,
gotta understand. You gotta understand why they actually do it. America is built off of consumerism, bro. So if everybody is holding their money, America is ran off of money circulating. If everybody is not spending money, America is not running. America
right,
ain't running, so they need people to spend money. So understand why they also doing it as well. But go ahead.
yeah. But basically, this is why I got into investing. But like just investing as in just having something making you money. That's what I look at it as. Right? It don't necessarily have to be stocks. It doesn't necessarily have to be crypto or nothing like that. There's something that makes you money on your money. That's what I'm looking
Facts.
at. So I'm like, so basically, like, yeah, in the midst of college and stuff like that, that's the one thing I do thank college for. Because I don't, if I never came here, I don't think I would fully think this way
Mm,
because I wouldn't have went through what I went through. Because everything happens for a reason.
that's
So
a fact.
yeah, I'm just researching and doing stuff basically so I can understand more of how it really works. Because I'm, like I said, I'm literally studying everybody. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I literally just do this stuff like subconsciously. I'm going in and I'm just studying everybody. I'm at the gas station. I'm on the quad at my school. I'm just studying. I'm just looking around. I'm like, bro, everybody is locked up in the same little system, and people are talking to me, talking about some uh, some internships or some jobs or something like that that they don't even want to do.
Mm,
I'm like, bro, that makes no sense. If you only have one life,
that's a fact. Come
why
on.
are you going to why are you going to just sit there and do something that you don't even want to do without trying to at least find a solution?
That's a fact. Fight for your
Without trying to
freedom.
at least exactly. So I'm like, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with a job. It's nothing wrong with a job at all. I actually like jobs, right? Because shoot, they give people money.
Facts.
But they give people
First,
money.
your job is your first investor. That's your first
Exactly.
investor. Your job.
Exactly. Jobs are good. But my problem with it is most people are stuck in them and they don't
Hmm.
like them. That's my problem. Like if somebody tells me they love their job, bro, I am happy for you. Like that's
Facts.
good. Because the key thing is happiness. But the
Facts.
thing is most people don't like their job.
They
Most
dread getting
people
up in the morning.
exactly. Exactly. So I'm like, and the thing is, I know these college students, bro. I'm a college student myself. Nobody is trying to work for 40 years and retire at 65 and then you gonna die 5 years later. Like nobody's trying to do that, bro. So I'm like,
Facts.
what's another way, you know, that I could that basically what do wealthy people do? So that's what I'm currently like looking into. And that's why I started my YouTube channel. Like I just give out information on there and stuff like that, bro.
So my way, like the reason why I kind of fell in love with the investing, just everything that you see here talking about now, like what made me fall in love with it was just learning how to earn money without clocking in. I don't
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with clocking in, getting up, but honestly, it's a problem to me when that's the only way you know how to make money.
Yeah.
Honestly, that it's a problem to me when that's the only way you know how to make money. There's nothing wrong. I got a job myself, and
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like for us, like we should start seeking places where we enjoy being. Like you saying, I don't want to wake up
Yeah.
every day and not wanna go here just because I have to do it. And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
it's the reason why we should learn how to people that look like us should learn how to invest as well is because it's like that's the only growing wealth, bro. That's important for people that look like us because that's things
Mm-hmm.
that our ancestors didn't have access to. My dad always tell me like, bro, like you're privileged because people that look like you didn't have the opportunity to even learn the things that you learning right now. And bro, our
Mm-hmm.
generation, bro, it's like we way better off as well because we get access. Like people have to go to a library to learn these things or go
Yeah.
to school to learn these things. We got a whole library in our hand right
That's what I'm
at
saying.
every moment of our life. So it's
Right.
really like the information that you choose to get in front of, and this is why I believe that we should start learning how to invest as well, though, because like we didn't have that opportunity, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we should always diversify just different ways to actually making money as well. So
Yeah.
like so for you, what is what are some like important like what is the importance of investing for the population or for people?
Um, it's very important. It's a necessity now, I feel like. Because but we already talked about inflation. It's crazy.
That's a
It's
fact.
crazy. Everybody talking about the gas prices, the food prices, the homes. Like everything is literally going up in price. So if you don't have anything working for you, like any money working for you, you're literally getting poorer and poorer by the day. So,
Mm-hmm.
and people think that you need a lot of money. Like you literally don't need a lot of money to invest. Like you can put, I don't know, $20 a month somewhere where it's gonna grow for you. Like
Fact.
you don't have to be rich. You don't have to be. But the thing is, a lot of people also think, oh that's a risk. Like, oh, I can lose money.
Everything
But
is
that exactly everything in life is a risk. So what I always tell people, I'm like, bro, the biggest risk in life is taking no risk at all. Because all you're gonna do is become complacent. You
Hold
just
on,
gonna
bro.
sit there.
Real quick. We gonna Nia just requested to join. We gonna add her in real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. All right, go ahead. No, go ahead. What was you saying though? Everything is a risk.
Everything is literally a risk. Everything. What's up? What's
What's
up?
good,
What's
Shania?
good? Oh my gosh. How are you guys?
I'm feeling
I'm good.
straight.
How
How you
about
feel?
you?
Oh my, y'all talking on here. I didn't even want to interrupt too much, but y'all talking on here. I was just gonna say, just what you would ask EJ, like, well, Elijah at the top, like,
Yeah.
I think also when it comes to investing, like, even think of the mindset, like the fact that y'all are even on this right now, talking how you guys are talking as black men, as young black men,
Mm,
that does not happen often. So the fact that,
Right.
like, I think for me, when I fell in love with investing, when I first got exposed to it, was in college too. So I feel you on that.
Mm.
But I think I realized, like, dang, this is a whole nother world. Like, there's a whole nother world of people that are like, that think differently, that talk differently, that just like communicate differently, that are trying to personally develop. Like, there's a whole nother world. It's not all just like negativity and, the blogs and all that type of stuff. So just how y'all are talking right now, I'm just like, yo, like, I just had to get on because I'm
Yeah.
like, y'all are lit right now for real. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But
no doubt. Sure. I'm glad you came home.
Yeah, I'm
for
glad you
sure,
came on for sure, for
for
sure.
sure.
But yeah, what was I saying? I was basically saying like, oh
Everything was
yeah,
a
I was talking
risk.
about, yeah, everything is literally a risk. So people say, oh, I can lose money in that. I can lose, bro. The money's gonna come. They print money every day, B.
Uh,
They print money every day. So the money is gonna come, but it's the mindset. People are so scared of losing money, but you know what that's gonna cause? That's gonna cause them to lose money indefinitely.
mm,
Because what does your money do at the bank? All they do is lose purchasing power. You got a
just sitting
thousand dollars just sitting in the bank. The next year later, what is that gonna turn into? But people don't know because it still looks like that 1,000. Like
there.
the 1,000 you have in your bank account now, next year, what? When you log into your bank account, it's still gonna be the one
It's gonna
comma
stay 1,000, but the amount of
exactly.
things that it's willing to buy
Yeah,
now is gonna be
exactly.
less.
Exactly. So like that's what it's literally all about mindset and information. Like if you can get the right mindset and the right information, you unstoppable because it's
Facts.
just like you said, like that's just the mindset. Oh, but the thing is, I don't know what it is about me. I'm literally I was just born like a risk taker. I don't know. Like I was just born into that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I think different automatically. So when I'm just assessing situations, and like I said, like I'm literally I don't know. It's like I'm at the gas station, right? And I just get out of my car and just look at people. I'm on the quad. I'm just looking at people. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody around here happy. Like I need to get, I need to move, bro. Like
Gee.
everybody around here got a grunt on their face. They just mad. I'm like, why is that? Because they
Gee.
just stuck in something.
Yeah, it's crazy that you say that too. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Go
it's
ahead.
crazy that you say that because I used to say that all the time. Like, I used to hate the whole narrative of like, I hate people. I can't be
Hmm.
around people. People make me this, and that. I used to be like, do y'all realize, like, yeah, we came by ourselves, and I feel that. But, like, you also were put on this world with a bunch of other people for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
like, I feel like people started to, and yeah, because of our society, and of course there's things that happen, and America itself is its own other thing, but I feel like at the end of the day, we went through so much, and there's so much history that now we can't even really like be together, and then we're also not genuinely happy. So someone might meet somebody and they're negative or they're mad or they have their own vendetta or whatever, and so now that kind of falls on somebody else that doesn't really deserve
Mm-hmm.
that. And then the cycle continues. So it's like there's this literal, and I learned a long time ago, like, y'all realize negative is our default. You know what I'm saying? So like we constantly think negative. So whenever, especially when I first like came out of like, I felt like I don't even know. I feel like y'all know what I mean, but like anybody else I try to explain it to, like I feel like I woke up, like for real. Like I'm not trying to sound like oh I'm woke, but I feel like I literally came out of a life where like everything was negative and people just trying to suppress feelings and trying to do all these different things. And I came into like, damn, like there's a whole nother world I could be like, you know, really happy. And when that happened, like nobody else really, it really did feel lonely, and it really did feel like there's not that many people on this side. Like there's not that many people that genuinely are like comfortable with themselves or comfortable with where they are. And it has a lot to do with, I can bring it back to money, one, because money has a lot to do with dignity too. When you don't have a lot of money, you have to like do things and be in a certain position that you're not really comfortable in.
Survival mode.
Yeah, exactly. Just because you don't have money, or you have to, you know, talk to somebody you wouldn't usually talk to, or all these different things just because you don't have money. So I don't know, like I get what y'all saying. It's just crazy that a lot of us can't like get out of this constant cycle of like depression and negativity, and it's because it's constantly being passed from other people. Like you don't meet too many people like us at all that are like talking about this, but then also like trying to live a positive lifestyle as well, you know? So I definitely understand that for real.
And since you just now getting on, so I asked Elijah, and I kind of answered it as well. So when you first started, like, what made you interested when you first started investing? What made you like learn about it, or want to learn about it? Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, like how I got introduced to everything, but I think really just like, I'm not even trying to hold y'all. Like, it was really just what I saw other people doing. Like, I saw other people happy, or looked happy at least. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what's on that side where you, because you know how you could tell, like you could tell when someone's genuine. So I feel like you could tell like I could say, I don't want to call them fake, but just for sake of terms, but like, the people who are on Instagram or on social media, and you could tell they fake. You know what I'm saying? You know they just posting because they just posting. They may get paid for it or they whatever. But like that kind of happiness, and then you would see happiness of like just different people. And I had like people that I still follow from high school, people I still follow from a long time ago. And they started, obviously, I got introduced through Forex. So like when they started posting, and it was like, okay, they actually have like a different, it doesn't seem like it's just, oh, I have a bunch of money. It was like the way they were talking, like I said, was different. The way that they were like communicating with me or other people was different. And I like that. I genuinely like when I can tell that someone's being like, I'm very intuitive, so I can tell when someone's being genuine. And so when someone came to me with like the idea of like, do you want to start investing? Do you invest at all? Do you even, have you ever, you know, that question, like, have you ever had money return on your, like that kind of thing? I was like, I've never had that. Like, no one's ever asked me that, none of that. But it was like, people were genuine. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's really what got me. Like, I want to be able to be that for somebody else. I want to be able to like know information that other people don't know. But that's always been me. Like, I like to know stuff that people don't know. So I think that was really my first, like, yeah, I want to know that. I want to get into that for real.
Right.
Yeah.
So for everybody that's like just now joining, like the topic of the conversation is really just the importance of the importance of investing. So what is the importance of investing? And when we kind of came up with that topic, Elijah, 2 points came to mind for me. It was number one for me, it was to build wealth. And that's important because like making money, that's cool. Everybody know how to make money. Anybody know how to make money. And when I understand from our community, on our perspective, bro, we know how to make money. Like, there's no problem with us knowing how to make money. We know how to make money. Everybody know how to make money. The problem lies, though, this is where the problem lies, is what to do with that money that we make.
Right.
Everybody want to look good. Everybody want to look like they doing good, but are they actually good, though? So when it comes down to investing, it's number one, the topic came to mind, like just to build wealth. And how you build wealth is just, it's buying assets with the money that you actually made, and you do the assets are just everything that adds to you, and liabilities is everything that take away from you. So if you're spending money on liabilities all the time, you ain't got no money no more, because you always spending it. But if you buying assets with it, that your money is now making money. Just the conversation that we're talking about now, that money is now making money for you. So that was one. And then also number two was to increase your income. So we know how to make money, and now but we have a whole lot of bills. So now we're trying to keep it. Now we're trying to keep up with the money that we actually making, because if you spend it on bills all the time, is that really money made, or is that just money that you just seeing, but it's not really in your hand?
Exactly.
So that's like, so that's important as well. So, but if y'all want to kind of touch on that, like just like y'all thoughts of like just the importance of just investing, period. So like,
Yeah, I want to piggyback what you said off, like what to do with the money, because people are like, they like, what am I trying to say? All right, so people, they don't like where they actually putting the money, like liabilities and stuff like that, right? So I want to talk about something real quick, because like we know how to make the money. You know what I'm saying? We know how to.
right.
It's just like what we doing with it. So I want to talk about the stimulus checks really quick. The stimulus checks of 2020. Let me just say what I need to say, right? Now, I just want everybody that's watching this. I want everybody that's watching this. Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life is free. So they dropped the $1,200 stimulus checks. I don't know how much it was. I didn't get one, but they dropping these stimulus checks. I think it was like two. I don't know. It was two of them, right?
It was two of them.
You got people going to Miami. They renting out lamb trucks. They in the Gucci store. They getting LV. They thinking they just got a free 1,200.
Doing the most.
They really thought they just got a free 1,200. Like, no, you just got finessed. Because guess what? I guarantee you, you paid back more than $1,200 with these rising prices. You paid back more money than the stimulus checks. And the thing is, people be skeptical about everything else, but they weren't skeptical about the stimulus checks. You got to think about it.
Can I just say one thing to that too?
Yeah,
like literally, I remember saying that too, because I was like, wasn't we just mad at them? Because right before the stimulus came out, we were also protesting. We was also F the government. We was also like, everything was anti-government at the beginning of 2020. Soon as this man say a $1,200 check is coming out,
right,
the whole world, like the whole nation erupted. Like, but I just had to say that, like, that wasn't even, the timing was terrible. I'm like, y'all can't even stand on that.
Right.
Stand on that.
Right. So you got $1,200. The thing is, this is going out to a lot of people. Right? So people don't know that caused them to print a lot of money. That caused them to print an excess of money. And when you print an excess of money, when you have excess of anything, the value goes down.
That's a fact.
So when you have excess of anything, the value is going to tank automatically. And then that's what it's doing to the dollar. That's why it's so weak. Like, that's why all the prices seem to be going up. But your paycheck seem like it's going down, which is inflation. So the thing is, people, like you said, people just spending their bread on liabilities that's not going to give them no cash flow. But the thing is, you need, more important now than ever, for you to have some type of cash flow other than your job. You need something coming in other than, because like I said, like you either, if you just work and then put your money in the bank, in a savings account, and that's just your cycle, you're literally just, your money is just melting. It's just burning out. Because
it's crazy how you talking about that, because think about like how the world worked before we even existed. At one point, bro, it was possible for just a household to sustain with one income. Now you need more than one income for a house. You need the mama and the daddy working for the house to actually do well and keep up and doing good. You want your kids in the best schools. Y'all need some more money coming in. So it's kind of, it makes it harder for just one income. It ain't it no more. You need more than one.
Right. And that, I'm gonna go back to like when we was little kids, bro. Like You was little kids, you go into the corner store, you get 4 bags of chips for $1. You know, they 25 cents a piece. You going crazy at the corner store. Go in the gas station with $1 today. You go step 1 foot in, you might as well step 1 foot back out. Cause you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting
Them,
nothing in there. I don't think you can buy a piece of gum.
them bag
So
of
it's
chips
like,
now coming out with 125.
Right. No
exactly.
cap.
So it's like it's just that's why this is a necessity nowadays, because you need something working for you. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
No, I completely agree with that. I think there's, and that, I think that's what I mean too by like the world opened up for me, because even what you were saying about, I think the model that they gave us was like a solution in a way. You know what I mean? Obviously, like depending on where society's at, that's where like, you know, you got to figure out answers to the problems and stuff like that. But like, I feel like the one idea that I had, especially because I grew up blessed, like, and I know that, you know what I'm saying? So like, I know my parents, like they worked very hard to get where they were so I could have a certain experience. And so I could go to college and I could do all these things or whatever. But it's like, also they came from a different time, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
And they don't really understand what's going on right now. And so I think the like the first what was it, the first solution to the problem, like of, you know, inflation, really what we're talking about, like the idea of money increase or money, the dollar decreasing and stuff like that. I feel like it was like get a stable job, you know what I mean? Because a stable job will ensure that stable income comes in, and it's like that. And I feel like then it was a whole nother solution that was exposed to me, like, or you could just have more income. And no, like my whole, because I really got introduced, honestly, I got introduced to like investing at like 19, almost 20. So like even almost 2 years ago now, it's like that was the first time I was introduced to a whole nother solution to something that could have like literally had me go on a course in my life that I didn't really want to go on, but I would have had to because I wanted a stable job that wouldn't just like fire me and I could keep a, you know, a certain income coming in. So I feel like at the end of the day, and that made it also, it makes it hard because I started to not agree with the majority all the time either, because it would be those situations where it's like even when COVID happened, I felt terrible. Like, because the things I was thinking in my head, I'm like, no, I shouldn't be thinking this. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's really not the job's fault. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, not in a bad way, but I know y'all know what I'm saying. But like, if you don't have no money once the job lets you go, yeah, it's messed up, but it's not their fault, because it wasn't their fault to like keep you afloat. That is your job. Your job is to keep your family afloat, and your job is to put your family in a good position. So if the job has to let you go because that's what's good for the business, again, all of this to anybody else might sound a little whatever, but it's like that's a fact. And the sooner we can accept the facts, the sooner we can actually be like, okay, well, now I just need more streams of income. Y'all know how many ways there is to get money? That's not a hard concept. It's not like, oh, we telling y'all to get 4 or 5 more jobs. We're telling you, if you need a job right now, of course, we all need a paycheck. We all need a paycheck. Like you said, a paycheck kind of starts it, and then you can like do whatever you want to do after that. Then you can have passive income. Then you can, you know, do whatever else you want to do. Like, you don't have to just be stuck in this cycle of like, oh, I just follow my job and then I get mad at my job if they let me go. Or so what? It's a business. At the end of the day, they don't owe you nothing. And I mean, I usually they should sign a contract or something, honestly, but it's like they don't owe you anything. So it's not like they have to make sure that you're okay or make sure that your kid's okay and they go to college. That is up to you. And if this job don't pay for it, you got to figure out how to do that. And it's going to come with more streams of income. And so I think just that idea alone, multiple streams of income, through everything that I've been through, just learning about investing and everything like that, it's like I've learned just get multiple streams. That's what's going to be taught to my kids. That's what's going to be taught after that, because it's like you cannot depend on one stream, and you never could, but now you really can't. Like, we cannot depend on that at all. So yeah.
Exactly. And one thing I want to say to that is that people don't realize that when you work for a company, right, you have a job, you're actually one of their expenses, right? You're one of their expenses. That's why people get laid off, is because they're not making enough money to pay you, right? Because you're one of their expenses. That's what people don't realize. So if you're one if you're one of their expenses, which is every employee, you're one of their expenses and they're paying you, if they have to cut that expense to benefit them, they're going to do that, right? They're going to do that, and you have no say so in that. You have no control over the situation. Like somebody like me, I like to be in as much control as possible. I don't want my future to dictate off somebody else's decisions. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once you, it's like I said, it's all about mindset. Literally, once you start seeing things in different like a perspective and a different perception and stuff, you're gonna realize that you might not want to be an expense to somebody, right? Because they can cut that off at any time for the betterment of themselves and could care less about you. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to say to that.
So, so while we're sitting here talking about inflation and everything, like if anybody watching, like the first step, I believe, so we should talk about like steps people should take as well. So like the first steps that I believe you should actually take, just as much as everybody have a checking account, go open you up a brokerage account, because that's important. Like just having a brokerage account, you're able to buy assets. Like that's way better than just having a checking account, because like Elijah made the point, you're not getting any money back just having a checking account, having your money sit there. So steps that you could take and take notes, like you could open up a brokerage account, buy your first crypto coin, buy your first stock, buy whatever you like. Also do research as well, but these are things that you can actually do to have your money make money. Like probably things that people don't know about, opening up a brokerage account. People don't even know what a brokerage account is, because that's all they because that's all they do is
Hey, I
just
finna
keep
say
their money in a checking account. But yeah,
they
that's
don't.
like that. Go. What you say, bro?
They literally don't teach it. So it's like when people say that they don't know these things, like you literally can't even blame them.
Yeah.
It's like they don't teach it, and most people aren't doing their due diligence and looking stuff up on YouTube. Like, so there's like they don't even, it doesn't even process in their mind.
Yeah.
Because all they've been taught is checking account, saving account. So I'm gonna get a checking account, I'm gonna get a savings account, and then that's just gonna be that. And I'm just gonna work this job that I don't want to work, and then that's just gonna be life. So it's like when you start getting more information and tapping into another side of things, like I said, YouTube University, take advantage of that. It's free. They got
That's
whole
that's your college degree right there.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've learned more on YouTube than I did at college, and I'm about to graduate.
Right
It's sad. It's sad.
This college is for my parents at this point. Like the reason why I'm about to get a degree is so my parents can have it on their little wall and do their own little thing. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I don't know what it's gonna make them feel, but they can do that, because I absolutely agree. I think and you're right for putting steps to it too, because I think at the end of the day it's gonna come to you wanting to do research, and then just like algorithms work, you will start to just see stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just how you could look one thing up on YouTube and it pop up on Instagram. That's what happened to me. Like I looked up Forex on Google. It was over with. Like everything was that after that. Anything that had the name on it, anything that had invested in it, anything that had money in, like it was now on my timeline. It was on just anything I was looking at. And so I think that's isn't that like a psychological thing too? Like once you know something, like I don't really know that, but I'm not gonna go into it. But yeah, that's like its own thing too. Like literally once you get exposed to something, you can't hide yourself from it. Now you know about it, kind of thing. So I think definitely YouTube, I would say, as somebody, like not be so afraid. I think there's a little bit of mindset to it too. Like it's not saying it's a tough world, but it's like it's one of those things where like some people don't even touch it because they feel like they're not even like equipped to handle this type of stuff, or they can't even. But it's like the fact that I'm talking to two people that I literally knew since like middle school, which is crazy. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like that just goes to show that you can literally like not know anything. We didn't know nothing about investing. Our friendships, none of ours started with investing. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about this type of stuff. So it's like the fact that now we can like discuss that, it just shows that it really comes with you just being willing and like saying like, okay, if you just want to start with information, that's what I say. Like just start with information. Don't even try to like do the most, you know what I'm saying? But if there's somebody out there that you know just talks about it, just be like, I just want to know. Like, I just want to know the basics. I just want to know what y'all talking about. Like,
Exactly.
how do I, maybe if it is start investing, okay, to start you with a crypto account. You know what I'm saying? With the download Coinbase. Like, that might be a good place to start. Or crypto.com. That might be a good place to start. Like, just little stuff like that. But as you dibble and dab, you'll start to just kind of like get around more information, just kind of like everything. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's important too. Like, actually giving steps to it, because this was hard for me too. Like, I was the one on Instagram for months just kind of watching people do what they do, because I wasn't sure if I had the capacity or the ability to know this type of information, understand it. And if I'm telling y'all, if I could do it, yeah, like, because I was not the one. Like, I was definitely not the one. I was just chilling. So I feel like that's definitely important for people to understand too. It's a mindset to it, and you just got to be willing to know that you're capable. It's information just like everybody else, and it's information they're hiding. So I feel like that's what really got me. Like, if they hiding it, that means it's good. Like, this some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
for anybody, I just want to give encouragement. Like run after it. Just try to get in front of the information, especially before it comes mainstream. Like, it's about to be mainstream anyway. But I think knowing it before really everybody figures out that we know it, that's gonna be your best bet. No cap, that's gonna be your best bet.
And also, it amazes me, bro. It really amazes me how many people dictate their decisions off other people's experiences. Everybody could experience something else. So you want your homies or something like that to, you just want to fit in with them. So they say, "Oh, this not good for you, bro. Don't do that. This not where it's at, bro. Oh, this is a scam. You gonna get ripped off. You gonna do that. And then they just start thinking, they're like, all right, bro. But in reality, you could have not been a skeptic and tried something, and that could have been the best decision of your life.
Right.
So it's like people just should just make their own decisions instead of just going off other people's experiences. Because if I was to ask that person, are you and the person you're getting like this opinion from, are y'all two different people? They're gonna say yes. So two different people learn stuff in two different ways. So I'm gonna say, just have your own. Don't knock something if you have not tried it. Try yourself first to get your own experience with something, and then you can go from there. If it didn't work for you, okay. But just because it didn't work for somebody else doesn't mean that it can't work for you. Like, you're two different people. Y'all learn different. Y'all talk different. Y'all think different. So it's like, just have that experience for yourself instead of going off what other people got to say just to fit in with the crowd. So it's just like, bro.
Adding on to that point, like what you were just talking about, like talking about other people's experiences. Most of the time when people have something bad to say about the experience, it's typically because they probably didn't fully put in the work to actually understand what they was actually doing. So definitely don't allow that to stop you from your growth and your development, because I know, like, I'm a stock guy, so I hear all the time, like, oh, the stock market crashed. The stock market crashes. Okay, everything crashes, but it's really like when people are not in the space, that's honestly because my biggest gain in the stock market was the year of 2020. The year of 2020, the stock market dropped. You know why? COVID first hit. Everybody did not know what to do with their money. So I was investing in companies like airline companies. Like, I'm like, okay, when a world star, like, these are not businesses that's going out of business. United Airlines is still going to have people buying trips to Miami. Y'all still want to travel? Like, it's spring break. What y'all talking about? So it's like, invest in these type of companies that's going to actually add value. So when you look at investing, you have to look at the long term of it. Like, don't make like choices more. This is just life period, not just investing. But don't ever make a move thinking short term, because you're never gonna go too far. You're never gonna go too far making a move short term. But when you're thinking long term, you're thinking, okay, I can't. But when you think long term, that brings down a lot of things that's going on. Like, okay, I should not be going right here. That's too risky. I can't put all my eggs in one basket on this one play, because I'm trying to go long. I'm trying to go far. I'm not trying to just do this for just right now. I'm trying
Okay.
to really take this far, so I have to start. Okay, put money right here. That's the main thing when you learn about investing is diversification. Equate investing with diversification. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Like you put money here, you put money here. Like if you a stock person, you put money in stocks. If you're a crypto, you put money in crypto. You do everything, but don't ever put all your eggs in one basket because if that basket falls, that means all your eggs break. So you want to diversify.
Exactly.
So when you first get into investing, always equate that to diversification.
Yeah, yeah. And just to
I do.
pick back. Oh
Yeah,
no,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
You
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. All right.
Okay,
All
I was
right.
just gonna say something. Go ahead. I'm for real. I'm for real.
Oh, okay. I just want to say one thing real quick. I'll piggyback off what John said. That equates to like the term called instant gratification.
Mm,
I feel like too many people got instant gratification. They just want something so fast. Like it's Monday, you trying to have 1 million by Friday.
come on,
Like that's gonna get you locked up.
come on,
you
come
might
on, come
you
on.
might be somewhere, I don't know, but instant instant gratification is a big problem. Cause like even like for forex, like for example, people would join forex and say that it's a scam because they didn't make money within their first week. But the thing is, tell me what you did in that first week to even make money. You ain't watch no videos. You ain't get on no trainings.
G.
All you did was press a green or red button and you lost the trade. And now it's a scam.
Right.
But you ain't put in no work. The thing is, people would work you know what off at their job to build somebody else's dream, but wouldn't even put in a work for something like forex, for something like e-commerce, for something like whatever it is, and
Yep.
not put in the work. But they'll work much harder at a job building somebody else's dream instead of their own. Like I said, I have nothing. There's nothing wrong with a job, but if you don't like it, which most people is fit in that category, then that's where the problem comes. Like
Yeah.
you have to find another lane or something that you can do so you can have more time for your hobbies and have more time for, what you actually want to do. And then one more thing, I'm gonna pass it over to Nia. I seen something. I forgot where I seen this. I either heard it or seen it, but it was an employee and the owner of the business. The employee asked asked the owner, how did you get that Lamborghini? Or like, yeah, it was like, how did you get that Lamborghini? And then the owner said back to the employee, if you work real hard again for the next year, I'm gonna be able to buy another one. So when you put it in terms like that, it's just tough. Like the information I know, like the way that my mind is wired anyway, I gotta I a job is like I just can't fully put my all into something that I wouldn't want to do in the first place, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it back over to Nia.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was gonna say too, like based off what you just said, like even when you just said that people wouldn't make money their first time, because yeah, forex is like crypto and foreign exchange trading and stuff like that. That's more of my forte. Like I haven't got into stocks as much as I would love to, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like for a fact, I know I've had people come into my business and our organization and things like that, and just kind of expect so much and have so much high expectations, which for faults of everybody at the same time too. So I take that, but at the same time, it's like you come in and there'll be people who won't even make money at date. You ever like got hired and knowing that you off kind of, you know, like how you get paid bi-weekly and you off count. So when you join, or like when you get the job, you're not getting paid for another 2-3 weeks. It's like you expect to make money in Forex in a week, but you'll stay at a job and not get paid for 3 weeks. Like that don't make no, you know what I'm saying? And you're not doing nothing but actually learning information. Another thing someone said to me about a job as well that like completely made it make sense was like, the reason why people don't like it is because you're not constantly learning. Like I remember when I worked at Walmart, I talk about this all the time because that's the only job that I really like. I liked it only because of the people, but like I know I was there for such a long time, so I saw all sides of it. But like I know that there were people that like it, I don't know, it didn't really make no sense. Like how they would, damn, I just lost my train of thought. Damn, just lost my train of thought. Anyway, let me get off that. But I was gonna say when I was first gonna talk, when Elijah was gonna talk, I was gonna say like also you never want to feel like you know it all. And I just got off a training where they were just talking about that, and they were talking about how like when you feel like you know it all and you feel like you kind of like got it all figured out, that's when you kind of limit yourself and you can't really like grow from there. So now it's like, okay, I feel like I got it all. I figure I got it all figured out. And so you might like have an area in expertise in one area and then you don't really learn anything anywhere else. Well, that's where you're going to stay. Like that's literally where your future you that you want to be, that's the future you, that you're it already, because you're telling yourself that you're not going to learn anything else. You're telling yourself that you kind of know it all. You're not really willing to. And that's why I was kind of encouraging people to like reach out and to ask questions, because even if you know something in one area, you might be helping somebody out. There's people that's coming to my business that know more about stocks than I know. So now I'm learning for them. Now they're putting me into stocks that I know nothing about, and I'm putting them on the crypto. So it's like, that's kind of how you know, you kind of always got to stay a student to the game. And I feel like that's the best part about investing is nobody's better than the other. Some might have more money than others, but that's just because they probably have more time and experience in the same field. But it's like at the same time, I know stuff that y'all don't know, and y'all know stuff that I definitely don't know. So it's like at the end of the day, it can constantly be a way of like, I can be a student to you and you could be a student to me. And I think that's important too. Like just remembering that you always got to be a student in this space. You can never feel like you don't reach the top, because there's always like a higher goal. There's always like, I want to have more. And in a way of like more knowledge, not always just more money, but just like more knowledge, honestly, more connections, more people around me. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that was just all I was gonna say this.
I like what you just said there, because like that's a lot of the when you just said that, I thought about the saying when they say like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. They normally equate that to like older people and how like they're not as open to learning new things because they feel like they know it all. And I listened to a video and it was just talking about really the power of not knowing, like and understanding like us all as human beings is always everything is about evolution. So everything that you come across, everything evolves. So like it's always going to be something new to learn. So I hate that saying, because it's like it's like you're telling people like just because they're older and they learn things that they're not supposed to continuously being on that journey of learning. So once they think that, they're stopping their growth. So yes, when you equate that to you can't teach old dogs new tricks, but I debunk that saying, because first of all, human beings are not dogs. We have a different ability to learn things that a dog cannot. So and you can teach an old dog new tricks if that old dog is willing to learn. So like I just want to add on to what you just said. That's powerful.
Yeah. So I got a question for y'all then. So because it's like I know we didn't got exposed, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like my question is just like, and this has kind of been something that I've been wrestling with for the past couple of years since I've been exposed to this information, is like, how do we help our people? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we take this like more to the next level? I mean, obviously I know there's people that are, you know, obviously doing things like I'm doing things like Elijah, like, but on a broader scale, like how do you think we can expose, especially, I mean, I'm really about my Black community. I love everybody for sure, but it's like, how do we get the minority community or the Black community to really see? I know there's a lot of curses we got to break, but like, how do we get them to see what we see, or like, you know, things like that. Like, because I feel like we're the ones that kind of got it, or we're getting it, we're understanding it. So there's still so many people, I don't want to say at the bottom, but like that just mindset wise, they don't think the way that we think anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just, yeah, like, what are some of y'all thoughts of how we can maybe like change the world? You know what I'm saying?
I would say, I would think like, so with that, a lot of the reasons, so, cause I'm not gonna say, cause I heard y'all say like the information is being hidden, and I get that, I can see that as well. But
Right.
I feel like we just don't connect to like the message, because the messenger who's presenting it doesn't connect with us. So I
True.
believe how we could actually change just people who actually view it is by us continuously being on our journey, and them seeing the things that we're producing from it and how we living from it. So just continuously showing our light, so they could see, okay, I didn't even know that somebody like me could do this.
Right.
That's
Right.
what would really transform our ways of thinking. But once they see somebody who actually could connect to them and actually talk to a level of understanding that they could understand. Because I watch CNBC. Sometimes when I first cut on CNBC, bro, a lot of the stuff that people used to be saying used to fly over my head. I did not know what they said because the words used to be so big. Y'all talking about inverted yield curves. What is that? I don't know what an inverted yield curve is. But now that I'm starting to actually understand, and I could break it down to somebody who probably like understood on my level of understanding, I could say, okay, this is when your short term options are more impacted than the long term options. And anytime you see anything like that, the long term should always be stronger impacted than the short term, because it's longer. Like, so if you see anything flipped on its back, that means that it's going upside down. That's what an inverted yield curve is. So but once you get somebody that kind of connect with you and look like you, that can actually break that down for you, then that's when you will connect with it.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I just think it's all about connection and like some of the results that you actually get. Like, because people tend to listen to people that got results or are doing something. So like they would have to see some type of results, and it basically is that's what they have to see some type of results, and they have to be willing to actually learn it. Like, you can't teach nobody anything if they're not willing to learn it themselves, because their mind is not going to be there. And if your mind is not there, you're not going to fully learn it. So it's like, and another thing, like you can just explain stuff to people, but they just wouldn't understand unless I got like a Lambo behind me or something like that. Like, it's not going. I could tell somebody, like, "Hey, bro, there's actually good debt." I could explain this, like, bro, there's actually good debt, but because we're brought up in a world where like the word debt is such a negative connotation, people don't want to have it. But it's actually good debt. Like, I can explain to somebody, like, bro, instead of using your credit card to buy some Jordans, what if you used it to buy something that can make you money? What I'm just saying, like, what debt does that classify in? Where you can pay the debt off and keep making money.
Right.
Now that's what wealthy people do. For example, like real estate. Like, I learned all this stuff on YouTube. Like, literally, I just learned all this stuff on YouTube. I just like, what do wealthy people do? So, like, example, like real estate or something like that. They'll instantly for real estate, they'll instantly wait, hold on. Yeah. But for real estate, basically they will go into debt. They'll take like a step back in order to launch forward, right? But people don't want to take that step back. They'll go into debt so they can acquire the real estate, and then like put tenants in it. This is that, which the tenants will gain them cash flow or something like that. Or like, even like if you start like a car or a rental car business, you go grab the car, you're in debt because you have to pay off the car loan. But the renters that's renting out the car is gonna pay the car loan for you, plus the profit. So it's like once I learned this stuff, I'm like, there's such thing as a good debt. It kind of like, that's what I'm saying. Like I had a whole paradigm shift, and I'm just researching because, like I said, like, I like learning information. Like that's
Yeah.
just how I am. Like the more stuff I learn, but like it has to be valuable information though. I can sit in class and fall asleep because it's not valuable. I'm being 100 with you. Like, can nobody sit here and tell me unless you're going to be a doctor, a lawyer, something like that, an engineer, somebody, you can't tell me that college is really that valuable compared to what you're getting into. You're getting in tons of debt. You're starting your life with debt, bad debt, not good debt. It's bad debt. And then you got to pay that off over a period of time. So it's like, I don't know. Like I just started, like I said, I'll start researching credit, things like that. Like especially like with credit, people always say that like, oh, I don't got the money to do that. Oh, I don't got the money to do this. But people don't, it's all information. People don't know that if you get your credit up, right, you can get money from the bank. But the thing is, people don't know if they get their credit up, they can leverage their credit up, open an LLC, get business credit, and that doesn't even report to their personal credit.
When I found that out, my life changed. I swear to God. Like that's what I'm working on doing right now. Like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You could literally leverage your personal credit and get 2 to 3 times more. Let's say you have like on your personal credit, you have a $10,000 limit with all your credit cards.
Right.
You can open up an LLC, register a business, and get business credit, and they'll give you like 30 bands.
Yeah.
They could give you like 30 bands.
Yeah. And for anybody who hear that, just know it's just
Exactly.
because they're more likely to give money to a business than a person. Like that's just facts. So if you think about it for 10 seconds, that makes more sense. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's just what we mean by that too, is just they literally will give more money based on you having a business than just you being a person with a 710 or whatever credit score that you got. Like they just not gonna do the same
Exactly.
thing. So yeah.
Hey,
No,
real quick, do y'all still know if Instagram still had a time limit on here or not?
I have no
I didn't even know
idea,
they had a
bro.
time limit.
Like it used to be like an hour.
Oh, no, I've been
I
on
have
here for
no
long.
idea.
No.
Okay.
I had no idea, bro.
I guess we just gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
people don't know that information. Like when I found this out, I'm like, what? So you can get credit in your business's name, and most of the time it does not. You don't need a personally guarantor it, so it doesn't show up on your personal credit, and you can get more money to leverage to make more money. I found out this information. I can't wait to graduate. I can't wait to get up out of here.
I swear to God.
I can't wait. So I'm like, I knew this information. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah. And it's just crazy because it's like my parents didn't even know this. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't even tell me this type of information. And it's like I mean, maybe because of like pride level or whatever, like at least for me, my parents like they don't really be hearing me. But again, like y'all said, it has a lot to do with just like what you have and what you have to show for and things like that. But like when it comes to your parents, I feel like they'll always, and you are, but they'll always see you like as they child. You know what I'm saying? So they don't think that you can ever know more than them. But literally every time a child is born, like even these children that have been born during a pandemic and have been born after us, they're smarter than us. Like they will be smarter than us. You know what I mean? Just because of what they already had in them when they were born, and then what they're growing up with in the nurture and the things around them and stuff like that now. But I don't know. Like I just feel like that's the type of information that I realize that I want to be able to give. It sounds so cliche, but it's like I want to be able to give my kids information rather than just stuff. And it's like, yeah, of course, I want to give them an amazing lifestyle. That's where I'm working as hard as I'm working now. But it's like at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to sit with them face to face, like I'm talking to y'all, and be able to have these kind of conversations when they come about, or be able to not only be like, this is the one path to success, because it's like, it's literally not. And that's not even my version of success at all. Like getting a degree and then working as, because I'm going to school for law, but it's like, I thought law was what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
in a way, like, I do like politics and I do like criminal justice and like things like that, but it's not really like doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so it's like when I really got exposed to something else, I just realized like that's all that they know and that's all that they can tell you. And I'd rather know a lot more so I can give a lot more options to my kids. Like, okay, if you don't want to go to school, if you don't want to go to college, if you don't want to be a doctor or a lawyer, because that's really all you need to go to college for, what do you want to do? And then also have the means and the funds and the things to actually like help them do those things. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like fund their future or help them figure out what they want to do. Let them kind of start something and it fail and they try again, kind of thing. So I think at the end of the day, like, it's all just all of this. And the reason why I feel like all of us do this is just because, like, again, like you said, I love learning information. I've literally become a nerd. Like, I'd rather stay inside and like be on YouTube and be like in my videos and be doing different stuff than like outside, for real. Like, I'd rather do that just because I know like this is gonna be better for me. And now I can have conversations more meaningful, like mentally, like progressive conversations like these that people don't have. So I don't know. I'm just thankful for it, honestly.
That's a
But
fact.
yeah,
I value conversations like this just because I feel like that these are things we can actually take away from. Like just the
yeah,
past week, like when I was on social media, I ain't gonna cap. I was entertaining it too, but like everybody talking about the Will Smith stuff, like that's cool, that's funny, cool. We could take a laugh from it, but is that
yeah,
making you money though? Is that helping your family out?
Mm-hmm.
What is
right,
it really doing? So it's
right,
like and I'm real spiritual with it as well. So like it's like they say in the Bible, like people perish from a lack of knowledge, bro. We all
that,
that's everybody. That's everybody. People fall victim to the things in society because of a lack of knowledge. That's really what it is. So what are we really talking about? Is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett finna give you some knowledge on what you really need to be doing in your life? I don't think so. So like
Yeah.
start really emphasizing conversations like these. This is why I really push conversations like these because it's actually pushing out information and also different opportunities for people to get into. Like you got different people. You're gonna have your doctors, you're gonna have your lawyers, and you're gonna have people that just want to make money.
Exactly. And
yeah,
it definitely amazes me the amount of people be on Shade Room. I ain't gonna lie. It it definitely amazes me that all these people know about all these celebrity situations. These people are coming to me, bro, you heard about this, that. I'm like, bro, what?
That's a
I
fact.
ain't focused on none of that. Like, I don't care. They don't know me. They literally don't know me, but like, I don't care. I'm trying to, I'm trying to do something in my life. We only got one life.
That's a
We
fact.
only got one. I'm trying to do
that,
something in my life. I don't care what's going on over there,
That's
and
a
I
fact.
don't want to be like nobody.
But
I don't. I just want to be like myself. So I just do what I do.
a
I
fact.
research what I research. Like I said, like Mia said, I'm a big nerd. I'm a big nerd. I be chilling and stuff like that too, but I'd rather be learning some information I don't know.
yeah,
Just valuable information.
yeah,
And like I said, like that's the one thing I do like credit college for. I'm getting a business degree, but they didn't teach me nothing about business at all. Not gonna lie. So, but I'm getting a business degree. I thank them because I feel like it contributed to the way I think and like how I like perceive things. Like because I'm in class, and have y'all ever been in class? Y'all just look around at the people. I'm just looking around at people, and they just sitting there like just looking. I'm just like, am I the only one that sees this? That sees
yeah.
how this is like a big like disadvantage. Like the
Waste
thing
of
is,
time.
exactly. People, okay, everything everything is a business. People don't realize that college is a business. College is literally a business. They need
Selling
a certain
information.
amount of student, right, exactly.
Selling
They
information.
need a certain amount of students so they can keep functioning, right? So it's all a business. So like when I see people on these like tours to go to schools and stuff like that, I'm like, that's no different than a job saying we're hiring. That's no different than your friend telling you about a business move. It's all like, it's all the same. It's all the same. So when I just don't think it's right for the norm to be the recruiting going to college
Right.
or the recruiting going to the jobs. I think people should be more open to their friends' business and see like what they got going on, because they might know something that you don't know. Just be more open. And I heard someone like, I never seen a rich skeptic. I haven't. And that's very true. I have not seen a wealthy skeptic person. So if somebody's skeptical, I can't be around you, bro. I can't. I'm sorry. Like, why are you skeptical? You haven't even tried anything. So it's like that's don't be a skeptic. If you watching this right now, just don't be a skeptic. Be open to new ideas, because you don't know what those ideas can do for you. Everything happened for a reason. So if something was brought to you, the least you can do is just look at it.
So real quick, because you kind of just said that, like, so do you believe that? Because I believe it's just different shows for different folks, and just different things that people to actually pay attention to as well. Like, I feel like school can be for some people as well, because the school environment, like you just said, it opens your mind up to like just different ways of thinking as well. So like, that's not in every environment, especially like a lot of people that look like us. So that could actually open up a lot of the things that go on in our mind to teach us about a lot of things that's going on in society, because most of us don't have a school environment at home. Now, what you saying is like what you saying. I agree with you, because school should not just stop in school, but some people don't even have a school environment at home. So like, I feel like that place of school should still be existing for those people who need it. Like,
Yeah.
so would you agree with that?
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that, because like I said earlier, everybody's different.
Facts.
So what I think, somebody else might not think. Like, and that's totally fine. And I know that. Like, that's totally fine. I don't expect people to think the way I think. I'm different. You're different. I'm different than John. I'm different than Nia. Nia different than me. Nia different than John. Everybody's different. So it's like, if people think the way they think and that's what they want to do, by all means, go ahead. My only problem with it is people sticking with something that they don't necessarily like, and then they don't think they have another way to do something or another way out. That's literally my only problem with it.
I agree with that.
The thing is, most people feel that way. Like, most people don't want to be working these jobs. Like, because the thing is, like, people be so brainwashed nowadays. Like, they think they want to do it, but they really don't want to do it. Because if I went up to somebody and I asked, I'm like, bro, if God came down right now and told you can have any life that you want, I guarantee you, working 40 hours a week, working labor 40 hours a week is not going to be in that life. Yeah. So you know what that tells me? That tells me that you don't really want to do it for real, but they think that they want to do it because that's what the system tells us to do. So that's literally my only problem with it. Now, somebody wants to go to school, they want to be a doctor, they want to be a lawyer. That's great. We need those, but it's just my problem. The problem is just, I just don't like when people don't want to do it and then they force themselves to do it because they don't think they have another way out or another way to do something, and it's literally just information. That's literally it. That's my only problem with it.
Yeah, I would definitely love to piggyback off that, because I think that's true. And I think when you have because you're right, college most of the time, even for me, is more of an escape sometimes, especially for our community, than just like school. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand that. I feel like everybody should have access and should have the ability to like be somewhere where, because also this gave me some of my best friends in the world. You know what I'm saying? This gave me some of like the best experiences I've had as well. So I'm not just going to knock college altogether. But I think once you have your breakthrough, once you know what you're here for, once you figure out your purpose, once you know, like, I have the ability to do whatever I want to do, it should not be knocked because you got to finish school. It should not be like, oh, I gotta graduate first. You shouldn't be forced into this idea of like, I gotta wait until I graduate, or I gotta wait, like, because that's what people do. I know people who have amazing ideas in their mind right now, but like they want to graduate first, including myself. Like I was like that. I was telling myself I wasn't going to pick back up on what I was doing because I was going to finish school first. And it's like, but what does that like what's waiting on that gonna do? Because at the end of the day, like you're gonna graduate and then what? You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta pick back up somewhere. I just feel like at the end of the day, like college, it's good. It's a good environment. There are a lot of pros to it for sure, but don't let it stop your dream. And don't think that like college is a prerequisite for you having to do what needs to be done, because it's not. And I think that's the norm that's been pushed into people's heads. But then one thing I did want to say too that John has said earlier, you brought up the Bible when you talked about just how like those without knowledge will perish and things like that. And I remember hearing this thing and it would like change my life. And they were just talking about how, and it's so basic, it's basic common sense, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I was like, whoa, like this is different. But basically, like they were saying how, you know how the whole idea of like, this a little off topic, but it kind of comes back around, but like things always get better with time, or like things will get better over time and things like that. And so like I'm listening to this podcast. If you guys don't listen to Social Proof Podcast, I'm putting y'all on right now. Okay, y'all heard it from me, period. But Social Proof Podcast with Dave Never Sleeps, like he's literally amazing. And so he brought this guy on named Marcus something, and he started saying, he was like, if you think about that for 10 more seconds, that doesn't make any sense, because literally nothing gets better with time. If you have oh damn, can y'all hear me? My fault.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was like, nothing gets better with time. Like if you have a car and you just let it sit, what does it do? He was like, if you have if your home, if you just let your home sit, like what happens? Like nothing really gets better with time unless you have it, like have an outside force do something about it. So one thing that he ended up bringing it back to was just like your mind. Like literally, if you're not feeding your mind or actively trying to have your mind grow, it's deteriorating, y'all. Like like for those of y'all who are listening to this right now, you are not feeding your mind to constantly be growing, because a lot of the time too, we might learn things one time and then we do them repetitively. Like that's what you do at a job. At Walmart, I learned how to like use the cash register a couple times, and then it made sense. And then I was just doing that repetitively. I didn't constantly learn how to use the register or constantly learn things at my job. It was just like, had to learn what to do. And then I just kept doing them. Your mind is deteriorating. If you're not reading books, if you're not watching videos, if you're not having stimulating conversations, like your mind's just kind of getting worse. It's not getting better. It's not like if you're just reading all this shade room stuff and all stuff like we're talking about, your mind is not getting better. And that's not to come at somebody or to say that any of us are. It's just that I started to realize that if I don't feed my mind, I'm literally like, I'm letting it starve in a sense. You know what I mean? That was good. Y'all felt that. I'm letting it starve, like for real. So now it's like, I realize you have to kind of like be in a position to know, like, even though we're all young and we're not better than anybody and anything like that, but at the same time, we obviously were exposed very early for a reason, like very early. We're all super young. So for us to know to read and invest and learn about cryptos and all these different things, like that's a blessing at the end of the day. And I think for anybody else who's been locked in on this live, y'all know the same thing. And y'all know that it's important for you to like feed your mind and become better and want more information that you don't already know. Because if you already know the information, it's kind of like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But think to constantly learn and to constantly like be a student to life too, period. Not just to somebody, but to life. I think that's super important too. So I kind of just wanted to throw that in there too, because we made that kind of hit. But yeah.
If you don't, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's what they say about your muscle. But that's how your brain and mind is. It's a muscle that you're supposed to build upon every day. That's powerful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
One thing I do want to say is that I'm gonna say this word is literally one of the best words that somebody can because all kids have it. But the thing is, all kids have it, and then it somehow seems to get taken away from them.
I'm already know what I'm gonna say.
I don't know, in some form of them growing up, it just seems to get taken away from them. And that word is imagination.
That's a fact. Creativity.
Creativity, imagination, all that. Now, the thing is, now like a kid can, when you a kid, you want to be everything. You want to be a astronaut. You want to be you want to be everything when you a kid,
I think I
right?
said when I was a kid, I wanted to be a dentist.
Right? You just want to be everything. Like I probably wanted to play soccer or something, bro. Like I wanted to be everything.
Facts.
And kids, that's the thing. Like kids want to be everything, but somewhere along the line, that gets taken away from them. But I think that it's important for people to keep their imagination because when you really think about it, right? Everything you see was because somebody imagined it. Literally, this water bottle, somebody imagined this. Somebody said, "Okay, I'm gonna put water in a bottle and sell it."
That's a fact.
These cars outside, somebody imagined that, right? Somebody was tired of walking and wanted a faster vehicle to get them to their destination,
That's a
right?
fact.
Somebody, you have to imagine everything before it comes into play,
Come on.
right? So when kids have this imagination, right? Because like kids are very smart, bro. Like very, very smart. They have this imagination. I don't know. It just along the lines like the system hit, boom. Now it's like, damn. Now I can't be a soccer player no more, or I can't be this and I can't be that. But in reality, you should never say the word can't or say something that you can't do because the thing is somebody says they can't and somebody that says they can
They both
is
right.
the same thing. They both right.
They both right.
They're literally both right.
Yeah.
So when I found out, I'm like, bro, the word can't, it's not even in my vocabulary. I'm just saying it for this example purpose, right? That's not even in my vocabulary. I can do anything I put my mind to. People might look at me a little crazy, like, what? But I can do anything. I could do, if I put my mind to it, I could do anything. So that's how you got to think about things. And don't ever lose your imagination because it's just crazy. Like I see kids all the time with imagination. Like when I have kids, I'm like, bro, you can be anything you want to be. You want to be an astronaut? Okay. I'm finna go sign you up for space school or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm finna
Like
call
you can do
NASA
whatever
right
you
now. I'm
want.
finna call NASA right
Exactly.
now and tell them that you want to go to the moon. What's up?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like you don't and that's my other problem with college because I feel like a lot of people got dream cancer. I feel like a lot of people got dream cancer.
That's a bar.
This man said dream cancer. Okay.
A lot of people got dream cancer.
That's
And
a bar.
it hurt them because like then they go to college, now they're forced to do something that they don't want to do in most people's cases. Like I talk to people at this school. I'm like, bro, do you really want to do this? Like, no, I don't. Like it's more people, it's more people than you think that don't really want to be in this situation.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, like
Yep.
it's just crazy. So if you're watching this, don't have Dreamcast. Anything you want to do, just do it. Like don't ask nobody approval. You don't need nobody. This is your life. Just do it. Just jump out and do it. You don't even need to be an expert. Just do it.
That's a fact.
And this is also to say like it's definitely easier said than done, but
Yeah.
like it's definitely still doable. So like
Yeah.
I'll give you the satisfaction. I'll give everybody on here the satisfaction of knowing like it's not easy putting yourself
Yeah.
out there doing whatever you're trying to do. It's not easy by any means,
No,
but
it's not.
like what's worth it though? You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's the question we got to start asking is like, because honestly, y'all, like when I realized, because there's a pain of sacrifice and there's a pain of regret, like for real. So like, I really don't want to be 40, 50 years old regretting not doing something that I wanted to do when I was 20. Granted, I can still do it at 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still do it at 50. But it's like having that regret is way worse than like for a moment sacrificing, you know, maybe just going somewhere or a friend that may be talking negative about you and you let them talk negative so much that now you just don't do what you get rid of them, you know what I'm saying? Or at least for the time being, because you're trying to do something that's like you have to start putting yourselves first. And I think that's one thing, like this can get deep in all types of ways, because honestly, like it comes down to also, as a society, we all have a lack of self-love. Like, we all don't really like mess with ourselves for real all the way. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that like claim they love themselves the most, you're probably really just saying that, you know what I'm saying? Or you really don't show that, because self-love is shown in a lot of different ways than like speaking it out loud. You know what I mean? So I feel like, just for anybody on, I just want to give encouragement, like, because there seems to be people that's been really locked in. So it's like, at the end of the day, you gotta take it and be like, okay, I know that I want to do something. And then one thing I'm gonna say too, don't, like, if you're being called to do something, or you feel the need to like do something or say something, because that's a thing too. Like, some people don't realize that you're being like, if y'all ever get like hot a little bit and like feel like you need to say something or do something, you're probably being called to do it. And if you don't do it, the calling will just get louder. It will not like go away. It won't like kind of get rid of itself. It will just get louder, and you'll feel the need to do it more and more. Things will get more like, I don't know, it just starts to feel like everything is like getting in the way of what you're trying to do, because you really want to do it so bad, but you're not sacrificing the things needed to do it. Whatever you're trying to do is going to take sacrifice. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. And I'm not going to make it seem like it will be, but it's worth it for you to actually follow your dream. It's worth it for you to leave a legacy here, because I've heard this one thing too, and I'll leave it at that, because I'll be rambling. I'm sorry, y'all. But like, one thing is like, you leave a legacy whether you try or you don't. You know what I mean? So like, if you try, you can leave a legacy of like greatness. You can leave a legacy of knowledge. You can leave a legacy of wealth. You can leave a legacy of all these different things. But if you don't try, you leave a legacy of like not trying, and still poverty and all these different things. And so now you have all these kids that come after you, all these generations that come after you, they have the things that you have. They have the curses. That's what we have, our generational curses, because our grandparents couldn't stand up to their parents to say, I want to do this. Our parents couldn't stand up to their parents to say they want to do this. So a lot of the times, our own like lack of confidence isn't just your own lack of confidence. It's your parents, your grandparents, your ancestors, everybody else's too. So my thing is, I don't want to add on to that and leave my kids with that as well. So that's just like food for thought for a second too, if anybody needed that. But
I just heard you say like about like the calling thing. Like, have you ever had an idea, a thought that came in your head, like a great idea, and then, like, you don't act on it, right? But next thing you know, probably a month or something later, you might see the idea somebody already put in fruition. That idea is just, like, that idea ain't gonna go away just because you didn't act on it. It's just gonna get passed on to the next person. They don't act on it. Like, and then once you see it coming for fruition, you like, oh crap, I thought about that. Like, why didn't I act on it? That's because like you need to act on it. Like you thought just doing the same thing was just gonna be okay. Like they say the Albert Einstein used to say, like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. No, if you want to change your life, you have to change the way you're thinking. If you want to change your life, you have to change the same thing that you're doing. You can't do the same thing over and over again, expecting you to get better at it. No, it's not gonna work like that. It's just not gonna work like that. But but what you said something like nothing is gonna be easy. Nothing is gonna be easy. You just gotta put in the work. My dad used to tell me, like, it's not gonna be easy, but it's not gonna be hard neither. All you gotta do is put your mind to it and actually get into doing it. Like you can, like, your faith is actually gonna bring you far enough to accomplish the things that you want to do. But faith without works is dead. You got to put in the work. You got to start doing. You got to start moving. You got to start acting. And that's all we can do. Like, if you hear some information like I just told, go open up a brokerage account. If you don't have one, go open up one right now. Pause this right now and go open up a brokerage account, because you need to start.
Or look it up on YouTube. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go do
they got all the information.
Wherever that kind of falls and you don't know what a brokerage account, or you do, either go make one or go look up what it is, like, for real. Because, and it's not that nobody's on here is going to tell you. It's just like, that is like probably going to be the catalyst to take you farther than you ever thought you could really go. But I was going to say something to that too, because like, just like I said, like, yeah, the thought won't go away. And it's because I forgot who was doing the interview with some rapper, and it was crazy that he was even talking about it, but you got to give everybody credit. But he was saying, he was like, we're all one. Okay, so look, I'm going to ask you a question too. Have you ever like thought of something and then immediately like after that like someone came up and said it or like did it or whatever, like, and it's because thoughts are like, get into energy and all that other stuff, but like thoughts are thrown, like they're thrown and passed around. So like if you say something or you're thinking about saying something and you don't say it, like I'm so serious, y'all, like if you think of the answer, let's say some like your teacher's in class and they're like, what's the answer to this? And you like do know the answer, but you're too shy to raise your hand and say the answer. The thought of the answer is gonna be thrown across the room, and someone else is going to get the answer in their head and think like that's how energy works. It's all like just kind of, we're all one, we're all humans. So we have like the ability, like our mind is just crazy. So he was just like discussing that a lot. And I think that's important too. Like your thoughts will get thrown around and your dreams will be like, if you don't execute, because also I'm very spiritual too. So like, I know that God has a plan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, collective conscious. Perfect. So like God has a plan. He has things that he needs to execute. So if you don't execute, that's why he got 7 billion other people on here who he's going to give them the dream or he's going to give them the task for them to do it because he has something that he needs to execute. So it's like, I kind of think of when I started to think about it in that sense too, because I really did just begin my walk. But it's like, I started to realize like, dang, if I don't get it done, then I can't help out the people and I can't help out like the collective, like, yeah, y'all know what I'm trying to say. I just can't help out what I can't really do what I'm trying to do at the end of the day. So that's really what I wanted to say to that too. Like, just think about it overall, like what you can do, because you're capable. Anybody on here is absolutely capable, for real. So yeah.
Big facts. I think a lot of the time, people don't act on something is because they are afraid to fail. That's people's biggest fear, is afraid to fail. But what people don't understand is that it's a reason why W comes after L in the alphabet. Because you have to lose first to win.
Hold on.
Come on now. You gotta lose first to win.
That's a
W's
bar.
come after L's, right?
I ain't never heard that
W's
before.
come after L's.
I've never heard that.
I never heard that before. That's a bar.
I'm telling you, W's come after L's, right?
Yeah.
I would rather lose 100 times, and then on the 101st time, I finally got it right, than to like not do nothing at all, right? You have to lose first, right? You have to lose first, and then the people have a fear of losing, which I completely understand. Like nobody wants to lose, right? But the thing is, it's the fear, right? Trust me, I've lost before. It's bad, but exactly. But the thing is, people have the fear, and the problem with that is now fear and faith both have something in common. You can't see it, right? So why do people tend to have fear but not have faith when you can't see nothing? It amazes me.
That's a goofy.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you. Look.
You're just wilding right now. Hold on.
Look. Like I'm telling you, like I really think about these.
Hey, real quick, I'm finna add my sister in real quick, just in the conversation.
All right.
But it's just crazy because I always wondered why, like, we do this as people. Like, why do we tend to? It's crazy because I can go up to somebody, right, and say, "How's your day going?" And if their day is bad, they can be like, "Oh my God, bro, this happened. My car got towed. This, that. Hey, how you doing?
Peace, family.
What's good?
It's good.
But like, if I go up to somebody and say, "Yeah, like, how's your day going? It's bad," right? They have all these negative things to say, but I can go up to that same person a week after and say, "How's your day going?" And if their day is good, they won't tell me all the good stuff that happened.
That's a fact.
They won't sit up and tell you, "Oh, this happened. I got an A on my test. This happened. This is that." But it's like the way that, like Nia said earlier, it's just negativity. I don't know. It's like we're trained to be negative, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's like it's the fear of something, but the faith isn't there with it. But you can't see either.
Can't.
So why is it that we choose fear over the faith? And you have fear over something that hasn't even happened.
But it's easier. It's easy to have fear though. That's the reason why they have fear, because it's easier to not get up. It's easier to just lay in your bed. It's easier to just be scrolling through TikTok. That's easy to do. But the faith comes with the, all right, I'm not doing it. You have to know that you're not doing it alone. And that's another thing, is that people allow their egos to want to do it themselves. No, you have to allow God to be able to move you, because guess what? You're just human. We can't do this thing alone. We just human. So you have to allow somebody to, whatever you call your God, to allow to the thought that came to your mind to be executed. It has to be executed, but it won't be through you, because we don't have all of the answers. So you have to depend on your God to be able to push you a little further. And you have to go through uncomfortable situations. That's how you grow. That's the only way you grow, is through uncomfortable situations.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? If you're not uncomfortable, you don't think that anything is wrong. Nothing's wrong. You could be hanging out with your homegirl. You could be doing, but as soon as you get uncomfortable, you like, oh, I got to move differently. I got to do some different stuff. You got to.
Right. That's a fact.
Exactly.
I heard somebody say, like, you don't learn shit from a win. You don't learn shit from a win.
It makes weak people.
You don't learn shit from a win, bro. You learn all your lessons through your losses, because then when you lose, you gotta go back to the drawing board. You gotta go back to the drawing board. That's like the story. We talk about finances right now, but we talking spirituality as well, because that's the story of David and Goliath. When David was fighting Goliath, Goliath is way bigger than David, but it's like you got to go back to the drawing board once you fall, and then you finally gonna knock down that Goliath, and then that's something that you got to overcome. That's an obstacle. You got testing trials. That's your testing trials. You got to understand how to move past that, and you got to go back to the drawing board once you take that L. That's a fact. But I ain't never heard that L to W, bro. Hey, that's a bar.
Yeah,
I had to join the live for that one. I said I need ends.
It's just crazy.
The reason why L come before
It's crazy.
W.
Lila, it's crazy, because everything is literally a perception. Like, everybody got different perspectives on things. So it's like, that's why something will happen for somebody and it won't happen for somebody else. It's literally just perspectives and perception. That's all life is. So if you put yourself in the right vicinity of people, in the right headspace, stuff like that, you're gonna start seeing results. And like you said earlier, the results is going. People are going to tend to listen to you more. Like, I could be saying all this stuff right now, but people not gonna listen to me. Right, people are not gonna listen to me unless I got, a Bentley behind me or something. But it's like, you have to be it first before you become it anyway. So it's like, it's literally just about perception and how you view things, and then that's what's going to take you to where you want to go.
That's a fact.
Yeah, no facts. I like what you just said about it. I wanted to touch on environment too, because that's one of the biggest things I realized. Like, a lot of the people that I was around, that's what kind of like pushed my disbelief maybe in myself, which happens with a lot of people. It could be a friend group, it could be your family, honestly, because that'd be the hardest pill to swallow, is the fact that people in your family, because honestly, y'all, like, whenever, and John had kind of touched, it was John or Elijah, y'all touched on this earlier, but like, a lot of times when people are telling you not to do something, they're projecting. They're literally, all that they're doing is because they couldn't do it, or because they don't believe that they can do it, they're projecting their own disbelief on you. And that's what happens all the time. That's why people tell you not to tell your dreams to everybody. They tell you not to tell your business to everybody, first off, because like, at the end of the day, what will happen is somebody else will come around and they'll try to like project their own, again, disbelief or whatever on you, and that's not fair to you either. That's not fair to your dream either. So I feel like that's a big thing, and that comes with your environment, that comes with who you're around. That's why I always tell people, like, when I lived back in Chicago, it was like so many people that didn't want to get out, and I would be like, it doesn't mean that you can never come. Like, Chicago's a beautiful city. If you're from here, like, it's gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? So I could see me wanting to come back and live here on a high, like, that's different. But the reason I say get out is not because of Chicago specifically, or not because of whatever specifically. It's because it's your hometown. It's where you're connected to. It's because everybody knows you there. It's because you've made mistakes there. It's because you've done things, you've grown there. So there's people that know you and just can hold you back Whereas when you get out of your hometown, when you get out of where you were born in or where you're from, you will change. You will be forced to change. So that's why I always say, even if it's for a couple years, go ahead, get out, go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Go to a different environment, meet different people, do something different, so that way you can get different perspective. Because all of us didn't just get this perspective from being in the same household, being with the same people, doing the same things over and over again. We all had to, like you said, get uncomfortable and like, because that was the only way we could change, was get uncomfortable.
That's
so
a
I
fact.
just want to really touch on that too, was environment for sure.
They say
Environment is a big
it's an
part.
ancient knowledge. It's an ancient Hebrew. They say a prophet can never be a prophet in his own city.
That's but you want to, and what's crazy about that, the reason why is because they're gonna always see you at your adolescence,
That's a fact.
and they will never be able to actually respect your knowledge. And that's the reason why rappers can't go back to the hood though, because they always see them like, oh, I remember when you used to do that. Because even if I don't respect a lot of rappers, but it took a lot of something for them to have to sacrifice to get to where they was. So it's like you gotta leave a lot of people behind. You know, if somebody doing you like, all right, you too street, I gotta get you out because you gonna mess up my chance. But the thing is the reason why they can't come back is because people get jealous and they like, I remember when you was a shorty and you was smoking weed. I remember when you was this. So they want to remind you of your sins. I can't be reminded of my sins. I'm a God. You know what I'm saying? I have to live with my God-like self. And it's crazy because I was literally just on the phone with my sister, and she literally was like, man, every time I talk to people that I went to college with, they only want to remind you of the bad things you did. No, remind me of my God-like self, about when I actually said, let's go study. I ain't going out to the party, but you remember what you want to remember my bad self? No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remind me of my light. Remind me who I am, because sometimes you need that for somebody to reassure you of who you really are. Because all we are God. The thing is that sometimes we can get influenced by the wrong people, and it takes us down the wrong path to the point that we don't remember. We don't remember who we are.
That's a fact.
And so that's why you gotta move. And sometimes that's why you have to move.
Yeah.
What you just
You
said.
gotta go somewhere different.
That's a fact. What you just said, like when people always reminded you of your shortcomings, like I believe people only become where they focus is. Like I feel like people only like transcend where they focus is. So if they focus always on the bad things and they projecting that on you, that's all you're limited to. Because if you're focused now, if they're always reminded you of that, that's where your focus is now. So you're only gonna become where your focus at. But if they could, that's why you need people in your life. We talk about assets and liabilities. People are assets and liabilities. So not just money. People
Big
are
facts.
assets and liabilities.
Big facts.
So if you have people in your life that pour into you, because we all plants. If you got people that pour into you, all you doing is, that's just an asset for you. But if people just taking away from you, that's a liability, and they always projecting your negativity. But if somebody's pointing to you, they telling you where you can be in your petition
They're
right
watering
now.
you. They're watering your plant. They're watering your plant instead of poisoning your plant, because people can poison your plant.
I feel like a big thing with people is it's more so like a ego and self-esteem thing too. Like the thing is, like, some people, they hang around the people that they hang around because they want to be like the top dog, or they want to be like the best in their group. But the thing is, where I come in and I think different, bro, I want to be the worst in my group.
Facts.
I want to be the worst in my group so I can get advice from all these other people. And now, guess what? I'm down here, they up here. Now I'm naturally going to elevate.
Right.
Because I'm not going to say worse. That's kind of like a bad word. But y'all know what I mean.
That's what they say. If you're the smartest in your group, if you're the smartest in your group, you need a new group.
Right.
Exactly.
No, because how can you grow from that group that you can't learn from? Like, and I have to learn that too, though, yo. Like, because growing up, I guess me and John, I don't know if y'all know John. That's my brother. That's my blood brother. And so, like, the thing is that we both always been like maybe the outliers of the group, and I have to realize that I might have. And excuse me, I'm sorry if anybody joined this live, but I always felt like I was the smartest in my group, and I always was the one that's giving advice, or always that older person that had wisdom. But the thing is that and here's the funny part: I had to start setting myself aside, because I'm like, I could give y'all advice, but y'all gonna give me the wrong advice. Y'all look for me for advice. You see what I'm saying? So when you and when you're around that friend group, and I have to learn this, is that I got misguided. And I can't blame them for getting misguided, but if that's who you're around, they don't know anything much more. They growing from you. And the thing is that, so it's almost like, and my daddy taught us this, is that what's in the cup belongs to you. The overflow goes to everyone else. And now I'm breaking my cup. Now I'm breaking my cup for you. You're not pouring into me. I'm being deplenished. So who's going to restore me? Because even a wise man falls. Who's going to restore me when I need restoring? And so then guess what? When I fall down, who's going to pick me up? Guess what? So that's the reason why they say birds of a feather flock together. Because when I fall, who's going to give me the advice to be like, Germany, you the leader of this group. Germany, you need to go on your knees and pray. Don't ask us, go pray. But you ain't got them friends. They gonna be like, nah, girl, do this. Let's go bust his tires. Let me go do this. And now you got that negative energy rising up in you, because we all got an animalistic spirit that's going to rise up within us. That's what makes us human. We have a God and we have our animal self. So it's like, then when that person introduces you to your animal, now you finna go savage. Now I got to turn my savage up for these folks. You asked me, you dared me, now I'm finna go do it. But the thing is, it's the meek spirit. That person will be like, humble yourself, Germany. But you don't have those people in your friends. So now you got to surround yourself around people that's going to give you that, that's going to elevate you in the areas that you're weak. We all are weak in certain areas. So that's the point that you were saying. You have to find someone. You're weak. We're weak in a lot of areas. So we have to find people that's stronger than us so we could be stronger gods. We got to be a stronger God, because we all have stronger leading chakras. So what you might be strong in, I'm not. So guess what? I'm like, I desire to have that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm weak in. And that might be my pitfall in life. So I got to take that from you. And guess what? You're going to take some from me. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We all here to just be a servant to people. It don't matter about who's doing what for you. We're all here to be a servant. And if you feel uncomfortable, you're like, I do this and that for that person, that means that they're not doing for you. It's not a reciprocal, it's not being reciprocated.
I was saying, was you trying to say something here?
Yeah, she had just made me think of something real quick, but
go ahead, Nia.
oh, okay. No, I was just gonna say, like, first of all, she hitting right now, like hitting hard. But also it's like your friends, most of the time, we also have a core concept of how to make friends. And a lot of and this was just kind of like brought up to my attention, and I realized this like really recently, but y'all, a lot of our friends just come from like common interest, and like we live the same place and we go to the same school, and it's just and trauma. Yes, a lot of our friendships are based off of trauma. You don't like this person, I don't like this person, now we cool, like that kind of thing. So our friendships already aren't really based and have a great foundation. You might be through a lot with that person, that might be your 10-year person, that might be whatever, and I feel that. But it's like, at the end of the day, you need friends. What we're trying to say is you need friends like that, like kind of think like you, or not even kind of, but they think like you, and their mind is like you, so that way you can elevate, or their mind is more elevated than yours. Like even the people I'm on the live with right now, all their minds are probably way more elevated than where I'm at or where I'm at. So it's like, this is where I would rather want to be than just like around a group of friends who like I grew up with, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe we just like did kid things together, or we went to the park together. That's good, that's all memories, but like that's not the type of friendships that, like she said, is going to like force you to become your best you or push you to have your best potential. They're just there to kind of like be with you. You know what I'm saying? They're not there to kind of help you grow. So I think you need, if anything, keep your friends around that obviously grew up with you and just got to do them bogus, of course, but start to look for a soul tribe. Start to look for a tribe of people that like are trying to make you better, and they're gonna call you out on stuff that's not good. They're gonna call you out on the stuff that's not gonna help you. They're gonna tell you, you said you wanted to do this and you still ain't done it, you know? So like that's the type of people you need, or else that's why there's people who hate accountability, you know what I'm saying? There's people that hate like when someone says, I thought you said you was gonna, man, don't worry about, no, like you said you was gonna do that though, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like everybody kind of needs to be on there. If you haven't already found your group, you got to work towards constantly finding them, because they're out there. Everybody got their own soul tribe for real. So yeah, but she hitting, so that's definitely.
No, but then also I realized too, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Jeremy, go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
You was breaking up.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Still breaking up. I'm sorry. Yeah, so essentially, also what I was gonna say is that when you have the wrong friend group, and maybe you do see something wrong with that. I have had those moments too. You like, I just love them because they down. You got them friends that's really down for you, and they like, I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier for your leadership. Like, but sometimes when you got too many of those friends, though, too, you kind of start getting laxy daisy around that person. Like you like, oh, that's not. You start your morals start to slip a little bit. You're like, that's just so and so. That's just so and so. And guess what? It constantly leaves you to start, you like losing your morals a little bit. Like you, the same things that you used to stand for, you don't stand for no more. You like, but so and so, even though you love that person, when you around that person, that's just like when they be like, you around 9 millionaires, you gonna be the 10th one. It's essentially the same statement.
Energy rub off on you.
Yes. And it rubs off. So even if you are, you know what I'm saying, the next millionaire, if you around all broke people, that's just like you like, I'm not no crackhead, but you around all crackheads, you're doing crackhead activities. So it's gonna make you
Earlier, Elijah, you said I don't want no I forget the word you used. You said I don't want no, what you say? You said something like you said I don't want that type of person around me, because if the person being this, I don't want that around me. Like you saying, dang, I forgot the word you used though, but yeah.
But we fight not against flesh and blood. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. The principalities are the things that you cannot see. So those things hit hard. Just like thoughts don't belong to us. We're stewards of thoughts. So if you're around, I realized that I was an empath, but then I had to debunk that I'm the only empath, or it's only a few empaths. We're all empaths because we all feel each other's energy. We're like Wi-Fi connections. That's why, like, when you're really in the spirit and you find good people, you start finding good people. You're like, oh.
No club.
Energy. Can, but that's because we're all empaths. So I'm like, I'm an empath, but you can start feeling that energy and it start rubbing off on you a little ways. And I got just a personal testimony when I was younger though. Like as a kid, I didn't like. I guess I was in college, but I would still consider myself a kid. And certain things that I'd be around, I'm like, I didn't realize why I was feeling that way. I mean, enraged. I'm like, why? But that was somebody else's energy that I was feeling, and I couldn't decipher that was not my energy. That was someone else's energy that was put off on me, and you feel that, and you like, is that my energy or somebody else's? That's someone else's energy. And you have to realize that. So that's the reason why you have to be your time and your space that you spend with people. You have to be very mindful, even if you think that that's a good person, because guess what? We all essentially are good people. We all are here to create. But you have to watch the timing, because sometimes, and that's why it's very good to meditate, because you start realizing even when times start to get real good, you don't realize that certain things be a distraction in your life. Certain people come to be just a distraction. This is all, it's a game. Like, and God is like, let's see if they fall for this one now. Let's see if they fall for that. Let me challenge them. And it'd be the same energy over in there. It's like, are you going to get comfortable with God? Because God is trying to take you out of that. But most times when you really are wanting to grow, distraction energy comes your way.
I see you was trying to just say something, Nia.
Yeah, no, she keep like, every time she say something, I be thinking of something I heard before. But like I heard a while ago, like, well, actually I didn't hear it. I think I realized, like, because it was so many things happening in my life, like so many different changes. And I remember, like, I realized like everything is just like everybody are just like placeholders, if that makes sense. So like you'll always have, I'm not gonna say you'll always have a best friend, but you'll always have a distraction. You'll always, like, I don't know all of them, but you'll always have something. Like, it'll always be replaced. So right when you get rid of a problem, a problem has to be replaced with the problem. So it'll be replaced with the problem. Every time there's like, like, so you're always gonna kind of be, some things may be better than others, or you may be in a better headspace than other times, but it's like, for the most part, you're always gonna have somebody in your life that's really down for you. Even when that one person goes away, someone gonna randomly come up and they're just like perfectly equipped to like help you out, and they're there for advice and they're there to listen. Like, there's always, every time that person is removed, there's a new person. So I'm not saying that people aren't important, but just know that it's more of just like places in your life that need to be filled, and then people will always fill those. Like, God will always make sure that people fill those holes. So unless you're supposed to be, in solitude for a little bit, which is also very much true too. But I don't know, like, she just kind of sparked that too. Like, you're always gonna have And really, I mean to say that, like, you're always going to have what you need, but you're always going to have a distraction. You always will have a problem, and you always will have a solution to that problem, and all these different things. So I think that's important to note too. Like, it'll always, for lack of better words, like, I don't want to say it's always going to be okay, but it's always going to be okay. Like, everything's always going to be figured out for you. Like, you don't have to, like, overly think of things or overly try to, like, I don't know, do the most. I feel like we find ourselves doing so much to, like, do certain things, and it's like, you don't really need to do that much. Like, you could really just, like, go through life and do what needs to be done, do what God has called you to do. Like, even how you said, just be steward, like, just do what needs to be done, and God will handle everything else. And I think that does come with, like, our spirituality as well. But that's why it's so big for you to, if you don't believe in God on here or whatever, it's like, you got to believe in something, like, because it's really hard to get through life, like,
with just
trying to
yourself.
be positive, yeah, and not believe in anything like that. I feel like that's how you start to even believe in yourself, and you learn how to believe through believing in God and believing in something higher than you. So
That's a
I
fact.
don't know. That's just that, yeah.
What I take from that, like, cause I used to be like, when I used to, like, really dive into, like, my word, it said something that will always connect to me. It said in the word, it said, I will do what you cannot do, but I will not do what you can do. We have the power to do everything we have the power to do. God will only take care of what he could take care of, though. But he ain't gonna get up every morning for you and get out your bed. You could do that yourself. He ain't gonna get out every day and figure out the things that you need to do for your family. You could do that for yourself. So you actually have to get up and do. You have to do. That's everything about putting in that work. You have to do. This is a powerful conversation, though.
Yeah, you know what Daddy used to say? Daddy used to say, I don't want to lose this. Daddy used to say to us all the time, God is no magician. And people that's real, like, religion would be like, God ain't no magician. No, God is not a magician. God is only going to put forth the evidence you put forth. If you ain't showed up for God, don't expect God to show up for you.
Come on. That's a fact. That's a
Like,
fact.
how you gonna sit up there and ask God to allow you to lose some weight or to be healthy or not to bring on generational curses, and you ain't even help God? You know, and it's crazy because those type of thoughts you already possess them, though. God, that's the God like in you that's telling you to get up and work out. But you wanted to lay up there and eat the Doritos. That was your low vibrational. Don't ask God to give you no 6-pack. That's not gonna work. And
Because that was your low vibrational.
That's a fact.
It is though, yo, and you got to think about that. I'm like, how you gonna be mad at God? God is no magician. God only works alongside with you. God is he's the parent company. Come on, John.
And
God is the parent company.
The crazy thing is, like, we're not gonna get too deep into religion because I don't know really who on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
Look, the crazy thing is, it's like people be looking up for a God in the sky. God is inside of you, bro. God is inside of you. God is just like, he has the ability to create. He gave you that same ability. You have the ability to create everything you see in your life. And if you don't know by now, everything in your life you have created based upon the thoughts, based upon your energy, based upon the surroundings that you're in. You created everything you see in your life today. Whatever position you in, you created that. The only person who don't have the ability to do that is probably a child, and that's it. That's it. Just a child. That's the only human beings that don't have the ability to do that, because they live based upon everything everybody else around them tell them to live around. But once you get to an understanding where you could move for yourself, everything is on you now. Everything is on you now. You create everything you see in your life. That's not nobody else. Not on God. Not on your mama, your daddy. It's on you. It's on you.
Yeah, I do feel like people be having a fear of judgment. That be the problem. People have a big fear of judgment. They don't want to be portrayed as this.
Your connection just went out, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. Say something.
No.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
All right. Wait, what was I saying? My
People
mom,
are afraid of judgment.
She gonna have to wait. This powerful right here. You gotta wait.
Oh, thanks.
I'll call her back. But
thanks. But you was talking about the fear of judgment.
She calling again. That's
She
important.
calling back,
That's
G.
important.
She calling back.
You better go pick.
Yeah, that's important.
Bro, you
You
better
got to go.
pick up the phone for your OG, boy. She's finna get that.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm finna call her. She's I'm finna call her. I'll be right back.
All right, for sure.
But this
No,
was
but he was hitting on a good point though, because like judgment though, that is a lot of people's fear, and I think that that's what stopped me from being my true giant self, is just the fear of what people gonna think of me from like elevating. Like I don't want people to judge me. I've always been a people's pleaser, but you kind of got to get rid of that, because it's not about pleasing anybody else but God. And you see that time and time again from the story of Jesus. Everybody else was doing regular work and literally judging other people, and Jesus was like, I will not do this. That's not what God called me down here to do. So you gotta kind of like not care about what people are gonna think of you, because that will keep you down from actually being greater.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Because now you stepping on eggshells for who? I can only serve you, my higher self. I cannot care about what you think. It's not about what you think. And then that also goes to you thinking of the fear of what other people think. It stops your creativity too. And especially that goes for designers and stuff as well. You know that this gonna look good, but now you gotta ask the next man if that looks nice. No, it's about what you think, what your God want to put on this morning.
Thanks.
That's a fact.
Thanks. No, I think I heard somewhere when they said like he gave you a vision. You know what I'm saying? For a reason. He gave you the vision. So it's like, if you see a vision and then you go asking everybody, which I've done, like before I could talk about this, or I think one thing to just note for everybody on here is like, the only reason I feel like any of us can talk about this is from experience. It doesn't come from like just knowing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I literally remember having like asking everybody, like, is this a good idea? Should I do this? What about this? Or what about that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I used to be, because again, I'm a fellow people pleaser as well. So I feel it. So it's like I would do the same exact thing, and then I would be so hurt when people didn't, when it was, you know, them picking here. It's so easy for people to like, and then that's what they say too, like, it's so, the best time to kill something is when it's in like, it's what, the infant stage. So it's like, that's why if you have a baby idea, what they gon' nitpick. They gonna be like, what about this though? Like, I was just asking
that
you,
don't
like,
even sound like a good idea.
Like, what you think about what about, you know what I'm saying? But they'll kind of nitpick at everything, especially asking people that you love. I'm telling you, like, that's it. And again, it's a hard pill to swallow, but the people that you care about the most are probably the people that are going to be the most critical of what you are trying to do, and with good reason, I guess. But at the same time, it's like, you just have to be able, you have to take a leap on yourself. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is. And you can't have people that, they love you, they care about you. Don't take that away from them. But at the same time, they don't know what you can be because they've only seen what you've been. So like, you have to kind of like step out at some point so that they could be like, damn, I didn't know she could do that. Well, I didn't know either. I had to try. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
and that's a fact.
Yeah, facts. So definitely. But Elijah, back to you, because we was waiting on what you was gonna say about justice. So I need that.
But yeah, I just feel like people got a big fear of judgment. Now, I understand why people have this, because like you always you want to be portrayed in like a good light. You want to be cool with everybody. You don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? I understand why people have that fear of judgment, but at the same time, that's holding a lot of people back. That's holding a lot of people back from being the next billionaire. Like it's holding a lot of people back, and it don't even got to do with money all the time. It could just be the best version of yourself, like with money or not. It's holding a lot of people back. And the thing is, like if somebody was to come to me and say like they had like a fear of judgment, I would definitely understand, but I would sit there and tell them like, honestly, bro, you gonna die anyway. You might as well just do it. You like, I don't know, like I'm kind of a straightforward person. I'm like, bro, like when I had to think about these things, I'm like, am I gonna sit back and make somebody else satisfied because they gave me their opinion on something, and then I just took it, or am I going to make myself satisfied by going with my first instinct? And I thought the thought for a reason. I have this idea for a reason, right? So like people just be so afraid of judgment. What they gonna think? What they gonna think? What they gonna think? But really, in all honesty, you gotta think about it. If they was up and then they had something good, where would you be in their life? Like, if you don't, a lot of these people, you don't hold that much weight to them. Like, like y'all cool or whatever, but you basing your decision off something or somebody that they wouldn't even take you to the top with them. Like,
Ooh,
Bro,
sheesh.
half these people don't really, and it's not even in a bad way, but again, the sooner you can accept the facts, the sooner you can like get on with your life. It's like
exactly.
most people do not care enough, and honestly, like everybody, again, another cliche, but everybody's their main character in their own life, and everybody else is a side character. So literally, even if they say something, and that's the thing, I think we gotta like, again, they gonna say something. Somebody's gonna say something. If you accept that, okay, cool. Then it's like I can live this whole life doing whatever I want to do, knowing somebody's gonna say something. That's what you gotta like learn to be okay with, because there's gonna be someone that says something, and then they're gonna get on with their life because they have a life, they have something else to do, they have other things to tend to. So you'll never really be, even if you are important, just like Elijah said, you might be important, but you're not gonna be like, they don't care as much as you think they do. You know what I'm saying? And they probably, again, wouldn't take you with them where they're trying to go, just like you're not overly trying to take them where you trying to go. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely, Elijah, you just hit for real.
Elijah was just making a point about like questioning everything. Like if I do this, asking y'all all make the point, what they gonna think, But the true question you gonna ask, if I don't do this, what am I gonna think about myself? Because the way I do one thing is the way I do all things. So what am I gonna think about myself? What I don't care about what nobody else gonna say. Like, yeah, you can think this way about me. Yeah, bro, don't care about stepping on those shells, bro. The thing is, people are gonna get used to the image that you portray. That's what they just gonna get used to. They just gonna get used to whatever you give them. So give them you in every situation. Be you in every room you step into. Don't try to fit in with everybody. Just be you, and because you are enough. You are.
That's gonna pay off. That's gonna pay off. And then also, when you were speaking here, I was literally, something came to me about like judgment or some. Everybody's it's gonna always gonna be somebody that's gonna hate on your idea or hate you in general. But all that is still love, and that's what also we have to realize is that hate is just the opposite of love, and people just don't know how to express that love. And if you give through that, like, gee, everybody ain't gonna. But all it is that they love what you're doing. People hate is so strong. Hate is strong, and all it is a stronger version of love. And when people get over that and learn how to really express their feelings, we get over the fact you're like, oh, you just love me because it wouldn't hurt your feelings that much. I shouldn't be able to change your emotion like that. You love me, baby. You know you love me.
I think, girl, and you absolutely right. And I think one thing that changed me, and this is a personal testimony too, because when I really like started putting myself out there on Instagram and stuff like that, started getting on here and just talking or kind of just putting myself out there, period, because I really wasn't the one to do that at all. I was afraid of what people would think. And really it didn't start off that well. Like, not saying it didn't start off that well, but it was like I was getting more like, oh, so you this now or this type. Like, I was getting that type of energy. But then I started to slowly get like the, oh my gosh, girl, I needed this. Or, oh my gosh, like you got to kind of start thinking about the people that you're inspiring, even if you're like, just like she said, like hate is just a stronger version of love for sure. But the people that do know how to show love, you got to start doing it for yourself, of course, but for them too, because there are people out here that need it. If you feel like you can't get on here and talk about financial education, but you know you got the means to, you should do it anyway, because there's people on here that need that information, regardless of whoever's gonna get on there and be like, bro, who you talking about, who you this, that, you ain't even got all it, but I got the knowledge though, but I know what to do though. So whoever do got the money, they can go ahead and do whatever they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all information kind of thing. So I feel like that's what's really important. Like, try to think of yourself people need to be selfish in these moments. Like, you need to become
facts.
selfish at some point. Like,
Mhm.
you need to be the one to be like, but what about me though? Because nobody else is gonna say, but what about Nia though, or what about John though, or what about like nobody's gonna do that. So you have to do that, and then for the few people that really need it, and a few people that are really inspired and that really will tell you, bro, you changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people out there, people connected to everybody. Everybody's connected to everybody, but there's certain people connected to certain people. So you got to do what you need to do so that those people can kind of like follow and kind of gather themselves towards you to continue to go. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I feel if you got a voice, you're supposed to utilize it anyway. It's like, because I'm just like you. Like, at first, no, I kind of always had the gift to speak, but like I just felt unworthy enough to speak the word. I'm like, I'm not good enough to speak the word. I didn't been through this, but then also I'm like, it's not about me, and that's also something that we have to realize. It's not about me. Like, if somebody is gonna gain something, that obviously I know that they might, didn't know or needed to hear that in that moment. God gave you those words to speak at that moment. Nothing happens by coincidence or chance. At that moment, it happened for a reason, and you might be able to inspire somebody else. And they like, and even if it don't touch them right then and there, they go, hey, Germany, hey, John, I remember when you said this, and now I got $10 million. That's gonna bless your soul even more, because guess what? They believed in you and trusted your word, and guess what? They're gonna bless you. They're gonna be like, come speak at this event. Now you coming up with money. That's the thing. Everything is a ripple effect, but you have to be obedient to your spirit, not just the word, but to what you are called to do. Not what everybody else say that you're supposed to be doing, but what you feel, you move and act on that, because intuitions are very real. If God is telling you to speak, speak. God is telling you move, and that's all that is that. And I don't want to confuse anybody if somebody just joined. Your God is just you, within you. Like, if your body is telling you to do it. Pray on it, then do it. That's it.
Hey, we've been on this boy for a minute, chopping it up. So I appreciate it. We've been on.
I didn't mean to come on here. I think I extended it because I was talking. I've been talking.
Nah, it was. We needed that. But I think we're approaching on like 2 hours now. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in and coming on. Like, this was a very powerful conversation, and this is what really needs to be talked about on from every age group. So I appreciate y'all actually coming on here and having this conversation.
For sure.
Of course. For sure. Yeah, man.
Peace, gods. All right.
All right, y'all.
All right. Y'all later. Have a good night.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all too.
All right, bye.